Flosstube, welcome to my channel. My name is Lynn and I'm the Lancashire Stitcher. Today is Sunday the 29th of December 2024 and this is Flosstube 112. If you're new here, welcome. This is a channel mainly about cross stitch, but I talk about other crafts sometimes, and I also talk about walks and travels I've been on recently and books that I've listened or read recently too. If you're returning, welcome back. It's lovely to be chatting with you all again. If you've seen my 3-part whip parade, some of this stuff you've seen as much as has been done on it, but there are some bits that I've done since I filmed my whip parade on Boxing Day. So there's stuff to see, even if you've already watched all that. Yeah, and I've got other stuff to talk about as well. So, I've got a new start. Don't know why I put my dragon picture on there. I've got a new start and I've not brought the picture up with me. Just grabbed the stitching. So I'll put a picture up of what it's going to look like. This is Touching the Autumn Sky by Mirabilia. That's my start on it. This fabric is 32 count Sky High by Pole Stitches. I think it's even weave. It's Lugana, I think. So yeah, my friend lent me the chart for this, and I started it on Christmas Day. It was my Christmas Day new start, and that's what I've got done so far. I'll try and remember to bring the picture up next time. I just grabbed it because I've left it out to stitch on it again when I get chance, and just completely forgot to grab the picture when I brought it up. So that's my new start. Where am I putting things? There. Right. The next, I'm going to go on to whips. I'm going to show my dragon. I've not stitched on it in the last 2 weeks, but I completely forgot to show it on my whip parade. After I'd filmed it all, I thought I didn't show my dragon, because my dragon's kept separately than all my other whips. It's just kept in a bag near where I sit to stitch, because I stitch on it first thing in the morning, so it needs to be there all the time. So if you've watched my whip parades and not seen me before, this is my dragon. This is UnconventionalXStitch Dragon Field Note, artwork by Hope Christopherson. I try and stitch on this for an hour in the morning. I usually get up with my husband at 5:30 in the morning, because he goes to work early, and I'll stitch on this for an hour unless I'm going to work for 9 o'clock, and then I don't stitch on it that day. But it's not been stitched on for the last couple of weeks because it was on the run up to Christmas, and then my husband's been off for the last week, so we've not got up as early, but I'm showing it anyway. So there we go, there's my dragon. This is stitched on 25 count Easy Guide by Zweigart, using the Call 4 DMC 1/1 full cross, and I think I'm on page 37 at the moment, and there's 100 pages. Yeah, there we go. So that's my dragon. I'll sit with it on my lap before I film, and then it doesn't pull everything else off the shelf. Right, so my next whip is Martha's Stocking by Shepherd's Bush. I'm stitching this for my granddaughter Skylar. I've already stitched 3 stockings for my grandchildren. I've got this one to finish, and then my youngest grandchild's to finish as well. Hopefully nobody's going to have any more children. I don't think there's any more grandchildren on the cards. So yeah, so that is my progress on that. I've finished the angel from the middle. It's stitched on 18 count Florber using the Call for DMC Pearl Cotton, Pearl number 5. Yeah, and it's 1 thread of pearl cotton over 2 fabric threads. So yeah, that's that one. I try and stitch on this on a Sunday as part of the Sunday stocking sale. Doesn't always happen, depends on what I'm doing. But yeah, trying to get back into that routine. Should be being stitched on today. Whether it happens or not, I don't know. We'll see what happens today. So, my next whip is Praiseworthy Stitches, Simple Gifts Christmas. This is my wildcard piece in my rotation. I wanted to get it finished. It's been a whip for a while. So, yeah. Try not to pull everything off the shelf. Because I'm having to pile things while they're still in Q-snaps, it makes it a bit unbalanced. So, yeah. So, there is my progress. So, I stitched this, where are we? This motif at the top here, this time. And it's only, I think it might be about an inch or two till we get to the top of the design. But yeah, it's just stitched using 3 colours. Yeah, I really like this one. There we go. That's Simple Gifts Christmas. Bits on it. My next one is my Fancy Lady piece in my rotation, and it's Royal Holiday by Mirabilia. I'm stitching this using all the called for threads, DMC, Krynic, Whisper, yeah, and there we go. So yeah, she's the same as she was in the Whip Parade, if you've watched that. So I basically stitched the red at the back of her that's sticking out, and then the grey above her, above the red. So yeah, this is 32 count Dusky Rose Murano Lugana by Pole Stitches. There we go. I can now put her away properly. When I did my Whip Parade, I was basically getting things out of bags and then ramming them back in the bag. And she got a bit screwed up. So I just put them here now, and then after I've filmed, I fold them up nicely and put them back in the bag. So yeah. My next whip is Holy Mud Biscornu by Barbara Anna Designs. This is my smalls category in my rotation. And have I got a board? Yes. That is my progress. Nearly finished the top. I have to do the pig's ears on this side. I need to do the wings on all the flies, and then I need to do a pig and the mud here. And then it's done. And then I have to do the bottom, but the bottom I think is just the blue outline of the square, and then I think it says oink in all the corners. And that's the bottom, so that wouldn't take too long. But yeah, this is just some, I think it's 32 count cream linen that I'm stitching it on. There we go. You're not going to fall over there, are you? My next one is QS Spirit of Winter Robin by Heaven and Earth Designs, artwork by Ciro Marchetti. Not sure if that's how you say it, but that's how I say it. So yeah, this is my full coverage piece and my rotation. And I've stitched on this since I did my Whip Parade, so there's a little bit more being done on it. So I basically, there's been quite a bit filled in over here, and then some here and across the bottom. So yeah, there we go. This is 25 count Easy Guide by DMC. There we go. I started this in the middle with it being a round design. Stay there. And my next one, I'm still stitching on this. This is Raspberries with Butterfly by Luca-S. This is my nature piece on my rotation. It was a kit, using all the things from the kit. And I'll get the board again. So I've stitched on this. I stitched on it yesterday, and then I'm stitching on it today. Let's do that there. There we go. So basically, I don't know if you can see, there's some creamy colour that comes around here, and then I've started on the butterfly down here. So it's still got some more to be stitched on today, and then tomorrow's a stitching day on it as well. So there we go. That's all my whips. So before I go on to anything else, I'm going to show you my nails. Somebody mentioned my nails on my whip parade. You can't really see very much. They're like a navy blue, and then there's silver and white fireworks on them. So I don't know if you can actually see because of the light shining on. But yeah, that's what they're like. They're fireworks on them for New Year. So, and then my hair. Somebody mentioned my hair. Yeah, I've scrapped the idea of growing it. It was driving me insane. It was just sticking out everywhere. So, and I was putting product on it, and it was just I was either putting not too much, not enough, or too much. So it was either still bushy or it looked greasy because I put too much in. So yeah, I went to the hairdressers for my appointment, and I said, just cut it off. I've had enough. I don't want it long anymore. I want to keep it short, then I can manage it. So yeah, so it's manageable now. I know what I'm doing with my hair. So yeah, it's yeah, gone off the idea of growing it. Yeah, bad idea. I should have remembered what it was like during COVID. Like you've probably seen my videos when during COVID when I had to have a hairband in because it was long and it drove me insane. So yeah, no more thoughts of long hair. That's not going to happen. Short hair, that's the way forward. It's still longer than I used to have it. I used to have it spiky, but yeah, those days are gone as well, I think. But yeah. So yeah, right. So let's think about what else I'm doing. So let's start with my plans. I'm having a New Year's Day start, but it's not the usual New Year New Start thing. It's a stitch along with my friends Ursh and Hazel. Um, we've been doing stitch alongs now for a few months. We do a Teams call. Either on a Saturday or a Sunday. We're doing one this afternoon. And we stitch along. We did little bits of Christmas and we did Seaside Tiny Town. And I've managed to do those stitch alongs, probably because we're chatting, so, we're showing each other where we're up to and everything. So, yeah, it's pretty good. Anyway, so this one we've picked for starting on New Year's Day is Jardin Privé Composition Florale. So that's part 1. And then there's part 2 and part 3. And then they all go together to make a big square. So the idea is we're going to start number 1 and just see how we go with it. We might just do number 1. We might do all 3. We're just going to see how it goes. But we really like that design. So we're starting that on New Year's Day, and then it'll be stitched on usually on a Saturday or Sunday, whatever day we feel we're doing a Teams call. And I've picked this to stitch it on. This is 35 count Edinburgh linen. I got this from Fobbles when I went to Fobbles for the day. It's just a cream colour, which is basically it calls for a cream fabric. And on this, it should be just over 13 inches square if I do the whole thing. So yeah, so that's what I'm doing that. So that's my New Year New Start, but it's a stitch along. So yeah, when I was doing the whip parade, I'm thinking all these things that I've started on New Year's Day in the past and basically barely stitched on it after that. So yeah, it's like let's do the stitch along as a New Year's Day start. So that's that. And then I'll show you my knitting before I show you my stash. I've done a bit of my knitting. We didn't have a knitting group this week because it was Boxing Day. So as I've shown you before, I'm knitting this. It's a hooded jumper, hooded sweater, Sirdar pattern 5489. I'm using the Cod 4 colours. It's the Sirdar Snuggly double knit. And I'm still on the back. That's what I've got done. So it's a bit longer. But yeah, still on the back. There we go. So that's that. Hopefully I'll finish the back soon and get onto the front. So yeah, so that's that. Right. I've not touched my shawl because I've not been to knitting or anything. So yeah. And also obviously my volunteering at the library didn't happen this week because it was Christmas Day. It's not happening next week either because it's New Year's Day. So yeah. Right. So stash enhancement. Let's start with my buttons. So I got the buttons for the Believe Snow Friends banner from Create Nostalgia. There's stars and there's carrots for noses from the snowmen in there. So I got those. They came in the post. I need to put them somewhere safe so I don't lose them. And then I won a giveaway from for the Love of Needle Minders. I won this one, which is a Santa needle minder. It's got like a denim jacket on there, it looks like. And then I also got this one, Naughty Nice I Tried. And I Tried has got a cross on it. There we go. So I got those two. So there, that's those. And then, oh, I bought two, well, yeah. I'm obviously on Etsy over Christmas, and I found a lovely chart that I liked, and it's this one. This is Alice in Wonderland's stack of books. I just love that. And it's from X Stitch by Stitch on Etsy. I'll put a link down below. And then the owner of X Stitch by Stitch sent me a 10% discount. And of course I had to go and buy another one because I'd seen this one, which is another Alice in Wonderland one, and I had to get that one as well. So I've got those. I have to laminate them so they're okay. Yeah, but yeah, I love the bunny and I love the stack of books on the other one. So yeah, so that's them. And then I did 2 exchanges over Christmas. I did an ornament exchange, and the ornament I got was this one. I just love that. I think it's one of the Prairie Schooler Santas. So yeah, it's been made into a hanging with some gold beaded rope around it. And I also got, you had to send a thread with it. I got this one. Is it a cottage garden thread? It's called Delilah. I just like that. I love that red and pink. So yeah. My tower here is getting taller and taller. And then I did a Christmas Day exchange from Cross Stitch Friends in the UK on Facebook. And my partner and I, you had to contact your partner. You weren't given an address or anything. You were just given the person's name. And you had to contact each other about spending limit, what you were sending, etc., etc. And my partner, Melanie, we decided to send each other a kit. So we basically sent pictures of kits that we'd like a selection, and then like I picked one for her, she picked one for me, and you didn't know what you got until you opened it on Christmas Day. So the pack I got, it had chocolate. Chocolate's gone. It had some of the animal chocolate biscuits by Cadbury's, but she sent me this lovely stitch card. Just love that. Little bell on it there. So yeah. And then I got this lovely bag with a cat on it. It's still in the packet. Little bag, zip up bag with a cat on it and some birds. And then I got some lovely Santa socks. Obviously I've not worn them because Christmas is gone now. I have Christmas socks, and yeah, they've been put away now till next year. So these will get put away with them. And then the kit she chose for me from my selection was this one. It's called Max the Cat, and I just love that. I just love the cat. Yeah, so 3 pictures of a cat. So yeah, I just love it. So yeah, obviously it's a full kit. So yeah, dimensions kit. So stay there, don't move. Okay. And that is all my stash enhancement. Oh, hang on. A very kind lady who she sent me a voucher every year for the past few years. Thank you so much. She sent me another one. She sent me a voucher for Talking Dog Stitchery, and I've never shopped with Talking Dog Stitchery, so it's a new to me shop, an online shop. I've not gone on properly to have a look because I know they close until after New Year. So once we get New Year out the way, I'll go on and have a look and see what I can get. So thank you so much to the lady who sent me that. It's so kind of you. So yeah. So yeah, that's all my stitching, all my knitting. Still got stuff on the shelf there that I put there when I did my whip parade for either putting in bags or finding bits for. Yeah, so I need to do that. So, right, let's talk about events. So, let's start with Christmas. I've got cat hairs on me. The cat was on my knee earlier on. But yeah, Christmas. Christmas was a lovely day. My husband and my son and I went out on Christmas Eve night for a meal rather than on Christmas Day. We went to a pub restaurant over near where my son lives. We'd booked it well in advance, booked it for Christmas Eve night because I was at work all day Christmas Eve anyway. And we had the most delicious Christmas meal. Um, I had camembert wedges to start. It was just like 3 wedges, and it came with like a fruit coulis type stuff. They were nice and quite light. So yeah, and then we had roast turkey Christmas lunch dinner. And it was like a plateful. It was 2 slices of the most succulent turkey. You had a Yorkshire pudding, red cabbage, carrots, parsnips, roast potatoes, boiled potatoes, a pig in blanket. But yeah, it was so stuffing. It was so good, and then gravy, and then we'd ordered. My son said, "Oh, let's order a side of pigs in blankets. If we get 2 lots between 3 of us." And I said, "Yeah, okay." And they came out these sides of pigs in blankets, and there were 5 in each dish. And I'm not talking about your cocktail sausages. I'm talking about your chipolatas. So they were quite big sausages with a rasher of bacon around them. And yeah, we managed to eat 8 of them, 8 of the 10 that we got between the 3 of us. But yeah, it was like, oh, I think we ordered too many. We didn't expect to get 5. But yeah, so and then for dessert, I had a tart tatin. It was a pear one. It was chocolate, a little round disc of pastry. It was chocolate pastry, and then it had slices of pear on it, and then berries. And then you got this tiny jug. Must have had like a tablespoon of this sauce, and it was like a chocolatey brandy sauce, and poured it over the top, and it was so nice. It couldn't fault the meal at all. It was delicious. So yeah, it was lovely, lovely Christmas dinner on Christmas Eve. But yeah, and then on Christmas Day, my husband and I went to my daughter's house with presents for my grandchildren there, and we watched the children open the presents. It was basically bedlam at their house. Obviously, 3 children, Christmas Day, yeah. But it was so nice to see them open the presents. And then we went over and picked my son up, and we went over to my mum's house and also to the in-laws. Um, yeah, my brother came up to my mum's, so we had some time with him. We were only visiting. My mum and my brother were having Christmas dinner later on, and then the in-laws were going out to my sister-in-law's house for their Christmas dinner. So it was just nice to see everybody on Christmas Day, and then the rest of the day was just spent chilling out, doing some stitching, watching TV. Um, I made us. We got a chicken crown just between the 2 of us, and vegetables, stuff like that. And then I had a little Christmas cake, and because my husband doesn't eat Christmas cake, I bought one of those little individual Christmas cakes. So yeah, that was nice. Um, so yeah, that was basically Christmas Day. Boxing Day was pretty much just a chill day. But I spent the whole afternoon filming my whip parades, um, and then on the Friday, I went for a walk, which I'll talk about in a minute. Went for a walk with my friend, and then I was editing and uploading videos. It's like, yeah. Um, Yesterday I was working. I worked at the library yesterday, and then today I'm here. So yeah. So that was our Christmas. It was really nice. It was nice to have a few days away from work. But yeah. Right, my walk. The walk we went on Friday. We started off in Mellor, which is North Blackburn, lovely little village. It was extremely foggy. And when I left here, there was no fog. It was slightly misty. That was it. You got to the other side of Blackburn, and it was thick fog. So yeah. Anyway, we weren't bothered. It was walk. We couldn't see very far. You could see like 100 yards in front of you. That was it. But yeah, it was a lovely walk. But it was extremely muddy. Basically, there were a few times I thought my boot was going to come off my foot because it was so stuck in the mud. My boots were totally covered in mud. I had mud up to my knees on my trousers. I wear these leggings, walking leggings, when I'm walking. My coat was covered in mud. Yeah, it was just very muddy. Um, we saw some Highland cows in a field, so I got a picture of those. We saw a deer at a distance, but I did get a couple of pictures of the deer. There was some sort of bird of prey. It looked like it must have been chained to a. There was like a little hut thing, and then the bird of prey was sat in front, so we were assuming it was chained somewhere around there so it couldn't fly off. I don't know what it was. It was like again, it was a distance away. Um, we had sheep following us across a field. We went through this farm, and it wasn't a nice farm. It was a lot of dumped stuff all over it. It was a real mess, and the sheep didn't look very well looked after. They weren't starving or anything, but yeah, they were filthy, these sheep, and yeah, didn't look the healthiest sheep. And we walked through the field, and they're there following us as though, oh, have you got food for us? So yeah. And then we also went to two trig points. One was very well maintained. It's in the middle of a field, and we that was okay. The other one was basically on this farmland. It was at an angle, but we still had a photo taken with it. It was next to a fence, so yeah. But they're not maintained as a norm these days anyway. Trig points, they're just there. But I like going to trig points. I do like going to as many as I can. So yeah, trig points to do with triangulating for maps and things. They were up to, was it the 1960s? Can't remember. Some time they've not been used for that for a long time, but people do like to go to them. So yeah, that was my walk. So yeah, so very muddy, very foggy, but it was a nice walk. We did 7 miles. So yeah, and then in January I'm going to do a walk of at least 2 miles every day in January, to raise money for Cancer Research UK. Doing it in memory of my dad, who died from lung cancer back in 2019, and my mum, who has had mouth cancer several times now. So yeah, so I'm raising money for that. I've already raised, I think it's over £70. I'll put a link down below if anybody's interested in donating. But yeah, I've got Strava on my phone now, so when I do start doing that, I'm going to map some routes today, because obviously there's going to be the odd day where it's just going to be a walk around the town, basically, like on a Tuesday night. I'm thinking I work all day on a Tuesday, and then I go to Slimming World. But yeah, so I'm going to be doing a 2 mile walk after that. So I thought if I do a couple that are just low level walking the streets walks, I'm going to map a few different routes, so I'm not just going out thinking, right, I'll walk a mile and then turn around and go home. But yeah, it's basically to try and get me into a routine of going out for a walk every day, because I don't walk enough. I know I do my long distance walks, they're not long distance, but I do my longer walks, but I don't walk enough all the other time. So yeah, and I just need to get into that routine. So I thought this is a good way of doing it, as well as raising money for cancer research. So yeah, I'll put a link down below to my page, my fundraising page for that, if anybody's interested. And we'll see how it goes. But Strava will put a link, and every time I do a 2 mile walk, I'll be using Strava. I won't be using OS Maps for that. I'll be using Strava, and then it'll go on to my fundraising page, the walk I've done, and it'll probably have a map, I think. So yeah, that'll be good. So yeah, that's my January challenge. And then books that I've read, listened to. I've finished 3 books, and I've started another one this morning. So the first one is Impostor by LJ Ross. I'll put pictures up of what they look like. I said about this one in my last video. Impostor is the first one in the Alexander Gregory series by LJ Ross. I'd started it last time and it was so good. It was such a good book. Alexander Gregory is a forensic psychologist who's asked to do profiling for a murderer in Ireland, in County Mayo in Ireland. It's such a good book. I just really enjoyed it. If you like crime books, I'd definitely recommend that one. There's a good twist at the end to it. There's a few different things going on through the book. I'm not going to give too much away in case you're going to read it. But yeah, there's a few different things going on through the book, and then there's this big twist at the end. So yeah. I then listened to Seven Bridges by LJ Ross. It came up on my borrow box available for me, so I ended up reading 2 LJ Ross books in a row. Seven Bridges is a DCI Ryan book. Basically, it was somebody blowing up bridges in Newcastle, including the Tyne Bridge, ends up killing people, and it's all about what's going on around that, why they're doing it, how they end up getting caught. So yeah, start my new reading journal on Wednesday. I'll have better descriptions next time. The next book I listened to was Need You Dead by Peter James. So yeah, I've not listened to a Peter James for a while. So this one, it was all right. I'm moving away from Peter James. It doesn't seem as good as like LJ Ross or the other books I've been reading. But I've finished this one. It's about a lady who she phones the police because her husband is abusive against her. So she's got a record of being in a domestic violence relationship, and then she gets found dead in a bath in a different building. And her husband's the prime suspect, but then something happens to him, and then other things happen that put other people in the frame. And yeah, there's somebody who felt betrayed by this woman because she was selling a car and he sent her money, but then she said she didn't get the money, so he gets in the frame. It also comes out that she was having some sort of a relationship with somebody. So yeah, it was quite a good story. Yeah, I think it's the way he writes it that I'm not enjoying as much these days. But yeah, so yeah, that's a good one. And then I've started a book this morning. It's a reading group book. It's the book I have to read or listen to before the 8th of January when my next reading group is, because we can't meet on Wednesday. It's called The Visitors by Sally Beauman. It's set in 1920s Egypt, but when I've started listening to it, it's also got her like as an old lady, talking about the past. So yeah, so it's like I said, I've only started it this morning. I've listened to 3 chapters, I think. So it seems to be going to be a bit of a mystery. So, but it's like that thick. I should have brought it up with me. It's downstairs, the actual book. But the book's like that. The audio book is over 20 hours. So it's going to take a while to listen to it. But yeah. So yeah, I'll talk about that more in my next video. So, dear me, I think that's everything I wanted to talk about. I've shown everything and I've done everything. So yeah. So, my next video, I've not written down when my next video is going to be. Today is the 29th. 6. So I don't know, it's going to be around, I don't know, 2 weeks' time. In 2 weeks. It'll be, is it the 11th? It might be the 11th. Around the 11th. 12th. So yeah, it's going to be that weekend, I think. It's not going to be when I'm in New York. I don't go to New York till later that month. But yeah, I'll be still here. And well, Christmas will be a distant memory. But yeah. So yeah, so I think that's everything for today. So yeah, if you've not already seen the Whip Parade, just feel free to go and have a look. There's a lot of whips in there. Like I said, I've got 3 boxes, and yeah, I need to get them down. They're going to get down this year. Although, yeah, I'll probably just make new starts when I've finished things. But yeah, hopefully I'll get some of my older whips finished this year. So, I hope you had a lovely Christmas. I hope your New Year celebrations are exactly what you wish them to be. We have a quiet New Year. We don't even bother staying up for midnight these days. It's just New Year, and then we have a nice day on New Year's Day. I don't know what we'll do. Whether we'll go for a walk New Year's morning, I don't know yet. Don't know what we've not planned anything. But yeah. So yeah, have a good week, 2 weeks. Have a lovely New Year. Don't make too many resolutions. Not good. Dear me. Take care of yourselves and those you love. Be kind always. And bye for now.